What's shaking, YouTubeites? Welcome to Lords of the Long Box presents the CovrPrice comic book Shakers of the Week.
Shake it
For
up.
the first time ever, we are simulcasting live on 3 platforms. That's YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. I'm actually live on Twitter right now, so we'll see how this goes, man.
What's up, tweets?
We'll play this music while you guys are congregating and see which one of these platforms shuts us down. So, sorry, no bad boy Bill in the live chat, but I do know who you're talking about, man. Bad boy Bill was a old school DJ from the '90s, used to scratch and cut on house records and early electro. He's pretty dope, man. But while you guys congregate, let's see what the word is, man. You ready for this?
Let's do it.
All right, let's just say the word.
Yeah, baby.
Before we get started, I got to interrupt you guys with a very important cannonball.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen. Cannonball!
Boys and girls, buckle your seats. November 1st, the McRib is back.
Oh,
that's right. Our currency.
They heard the Lord's talking about.
All things are judged.
That's right. Hey, McDonald's, I'm telling you, man, I've been pushing you guys for a long time now. And the price of a McRib costs the same as a CovrPrice membership. So if you look at your boy, I see you guys are doing stuff with Nelly and Drake and all them. Yo, give me that.
Where's the TiVo meal, bro?
Bring it.
Right, Lords of the Happy Meal box. You know what I'm saying?
The McRib, what? A fry.
What else is in there? You doing a shake? What are you doing?
Hey, man. TiVo Frosty. I'll dig it. I'll dig it.
Oh,
Anyway, this show is sponsored by our friends over at CovrPrice.com. Set up your price guides, collections, and trends. Sign up for CovrPrice.com for a 2-week free trial or for the price of a McRib on November 1st, boys and girls. $6.99 a month, you can get yourself a full-blown membership. Shout out to our man Matt DeVoe in the live chat. Congratulations on your new endeavors. I won't put you on spot if you want to tell people in the live chat. It's up to you, man.
Yeah,
Congratulations for all the successful work you've done, my brother. This show is also sponsored by KRS Comics. Use this discount code of LOTLB to get 15% off any KRS Comics exclusive. You cannot use McRib currency on KRS website, but you can use the Lords of the Long Wax discount. Believe it or not, nothing is dropping this Friday, but these are still in stock over at KRS Comics website. This is the Venom Sneakerhead variant. Please, in the live chat, no Venom spoilers. Moderators, if anybody drops a hint, kick them out. I'm sorry, guys, but come on. Let's be cool to one another, for those who want to see it without the spoiler, even though it's all over the place, just in case. Let's not just the elephant in the room.
Put me on
also,
go ahead.
Speaking of Venom, this Venom, What If Venom Was in the 1940s, still available at the KRSComicsShop.com. Ryan, did you want to show something?
Yeah, starting October 7th, this bad boy is going to be available for purchase on the KRS website.
That is a New York CC. Yep. Go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, this is the NYCC KRS variant for this beautiful Harley Quinn, the animated series, Natalie Sanders magazine cover.
That's right. That'll be available the weekend of New York City Comic-Con exclusively on KRS Comics website. They were going to go, but they changed their minds the last minute. So what was going to be a New York City Comic-Con exclusive in person at their booth, you can now get online. So
they're
that
not
works
going to
out
leave you
well.
empty-handed. That's nice.
That's right. Good to have our friend JB, Darkside Jedi, with me, and we'll dispense with all the pleasantries and get right to it, boys and girls. This is the CovrPrice Comic Book Shakers of the Week, where we look at the biggest single sales, aka the offer list, aka the what did you do to piss off Matt DeVoe list. But this isn't. You know what? I think a lot of you got a chance to hit maybe 2 or 3 out of 10 this week. There's one in here that is, to me, is a Venom Grail that rarely anybody has, but we'll get to that sooner than later. But let's get right to it, boys and girls. What we got first, Ryan?
Well, number 1 this week from 1969, Avengers number 62. And while this first appearance of M'Baku is slightly having an uptick in sales with the first Black Panther film, it fell in price right after the film was released. However, in this current market, collectors are recognizing how important some of these ancillary characters are to the MCU. In fact, characters like Nebula are seeing their highest spikes in prices yet. With this character rumored to play a prominent role in Black Panther 2, M'Baku's first is also seeing the same recent surge in market attention. For example, this week, a CGC 9.0 sold for a new high of $625. The last 9.0 sold for a mere $126 back in 2019. And weeks before the first film's release, a 9.0 sold for $67. Raws are also way up, with a recent $400 raw price of a near mint copy. That's right, $400 for a raw copy. It's great to see these characters catch second wind in the aftermarket for sure. I remember going after this one.
Well, first of all, Silver Age 9.0, that's crazy. Come on, man.
And a lot of people,
I've gone
he
through
was
so
one of the
many
better
Silver
things
Age
of the
books.
movie.
A
Too,
7.0 is high grade in Silver Age, man. Come on.
Now, this is like the cusp of Silver Age, Bronze Age, right? 1969. Technically, it may be Bronze Age, depending on who you ask. But it's it was a slept-on book, middle of the numbers of Avengers, and I don't think many people would think they were going to do much with M'Baku. But you know what? He played a big part in it, and he was in Endgame as well. I do believe, or was it Infinity War?
Plus, do you think it matters that the character who plays the guy in the movie is good? Because I think whoever played M'Baku was fantastic.
Yeah, me too.
And I think if he comes back again, which he is definitely coming back again, that's another reason why this book is still hot.
The thing about Robert Downey Jr. is cast as Iron Man, right? I think the casting is a huge part of it. The resurgence of Batman when Affleck became Batman. I think it's a huge part. It's a perfect have to have a perfect combination of actor and character. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. He was the perfect Black Panther. So M'Baku, or the actor who played it, Winston something or other.
Yeah,
he went on to do that scary film by the guy from Key and Peele, where it takes place in like this weird alternate people living underground. Help me out in the live chat, my man J2. You know what I'm talking about. It was a horror movie, really trippy, where their family went on vacation, and next there was like clones of themselves.
Is it Us?
Yes. Oh,
Yeah, that was a trip. It was like
That
evil
is-
versions of
Nailed
themselves.
it.
Yes.
With
Winston
Us.
Duke, I think is his name. Thank you very much, Chinmo. Yeah, Winston Duke. He's a great actor. And Us is a very good from the duo of one of them from Key and Peele, who ended up being more and more. Ironically, he does more horror than he does comedy. But if you watch
His horror is good though.
Key and Peele sketches, they always have a dark undertone to them, even though they're funny, right? It's very well done sketches if you watch the Key and Peele stuff. Sometimes they just go off into this weird stuff. Of course, going on a tangent here, but Liam Neeson's best skit ever, man.
Liam Neeson, that's my boy, Liam Neeson.
Not the Liam Neesons, right? The two valet parkers. That is the best skit ever, man. I love that.
I like the high school teacher one too.
Hey, Aaron.
He's doing the roll call.
I feel so bad for anybody named Aaron because after that came out, they were just like, "Hey, Aaron," and then when they did the college All Stars, they had Aaron Rodgers come on and say, "Hey, Aaron Rodgers." That was hilarious, man. But all right, sorry, boys and girls, we're just having a little fun with you. You're hanging out with us, and you're in the live chat. Ain't nobody watching the Bengals play the damn.
Nobody's watching that game. Come on.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, one person was. My cousin's a Bengals fan, so Bengals versus the Jaguars. Good Lord. Ugh, Joey Lawrence or whatever. It's Trevor Lawrence. I said Joey Lawrence. Whoa.
Anyway, that's on the blog. All right.
We're getting off into a tangent right here. All right. Well, that was a good chance for 1-for-1. Get ready for your offer, your first offer.
Okay, here we go. You ready for this one? Casper the Friendly Ghost, issue number 1, originally published in 1949 from St. John. Now, as October begins, that means Halloween, ghosts, goblins, and other scary things. But it doesn't have to be scary, right? Well, that's the concept behind the late 1930s creation of Casper the Friendly Ghost. The story of Casper originated in a 1939 children's storybook, the rights to which Paramount Pictures' famous studios purchased for a mere, are you ready for this? $175. Now, Casper next appeared in 1945 in The Friendly Ghost, an animated cartoon. It wasn't until about 10 years after Casper's creation that he appeared in the comic book format, published here by St. John as Casper the Friendly Ghost number 1. Now, this rare first appearance has only 47 total universal copies on the CGC census, so even lower grade copies will scare your wallet. A CGC 3.0 just this week sold for $1,375. Now, the highest grade copy on the census is an 8.5. And the last recorded sale was way back in 2008 for $7,000. It's pretty safe to say the next time that 8.5 comes and hits the market, it's going to command quite a bit more money. Happy haunting, everybody.
It's actually a really cool book. I like this.
Shout out to the almighty Lager King, called it Casper as part of the Midnight Suns. Yeah. So for a certain demographic of age, like us old farts, we grew up on Casper the Friendly Ghost cartoons. And so I was telling the story of how I went antiquing in San Diego one time. And I saw this book and only got it because my namesake is on there. But it was a total Casper the Friendly Ghost ripoff. It's called Timmy the Timid Ghost. Silver Age book from
Silver Age.
That's right, Silver Age, baby. And it came even in this frame. It was like the only comic book in there. Yeah. And cool. I believe for those who have been to let me remove myself. It's not about me. It's about the books, man. But for those who have been to Old Town San Diego, it was part of that haunted thing that they have in San Diego. You can go on like this ghost tour. Right. And inside it, of course, they had this thing called Timmy the Timid Ghost. And my girlfriend goes, "Hey, look, it has your name on it. I'm buying it. I don't care how much it is." I think it was like $10 or whatever. But hey, if Timmy the Timid Ghost ever gets developed, I'm retiring, boys and girls. All right. So Casper the Friendly Ghost, issue number 1. From 1949. Wow. Some great nostalgia right there. All right. What do we got up next?
This is Guardians of the Galaxy number 25. This is the Scotty Young Iron Man by Design, the 1 in 15 variant from back in 2010. Last week, if you remember, we highlighted a pricey Moon Knight Scotty Young baby cover. However, before he was doing baby covers, he was producing amazing variant covers like this Iron Man by Design theme. Many of the top Marvel titles featured an alternate version of Iron Man set in another point in time. This steampunk version has surged to the forefront of those various covers. In fact, this week, the 1 in 15 variant sold for a new high of $350 for a CGC 9.8. If you're interested, raw copies have been trending around $90 for a fair market value.
Yeah, so I remember when I got my first Scotty Young variant, it was right around 2012 when he started doing the baby variants. So to see this is pretty rare in the wild because it's not his what we are typically equate to what Scotty Young does with the baby variants. So I mean, this one is absolutely gorgeous, steampunk kind of Iron Man. You would, if you were to look at this cover, not see this, you would never guess in a million years that this
I would
was
have
Scotty
never
Young,
guessed
right?
that this was Scotty Young.
That's like if Alex Ross did baby covers, right? If Alex Ross was doing Scotty Young style, you would never guess in a million years that was him. But Guardians of the Galaxy number 25, the Scotty Young Iron Man by design 1 in 15 variant. That's also another thing you don't see too often either.
1 in
15s.
I know, that's
normally
rare.
1 in 10, 125, 1 in 50. Sometimes now when they have a first issue and there's like 47 variants, you may find a 1 in 15. But back in 2010, 1 in 15, that was pretty. And you know what? People were like, you know what? I can order 30 of these, or get 2 of them. So there you go. But $350 for 9.8. Guardians of the Galaxy number 25, Scotty Young variant. What do we got up? Here's another chance for you guys to get on the board. I think. Here we go.
Absolutely, I think this is a solid chance to get on the board. Next up, we've got Miss Marvel number 1, originally published in 2014 from Marvel Comics, and we're getting pretty damn close to seeing Kamala Khan in live action on Disney Plus. Now, it's rumored that Miss Marvel will be released in February of 2022, and if that's true, then we're just like a few months away, right? Now, her key books, like this first series number 1, just hit a big new high sale of $960 after a 34-bid auction. This is way up from the $300 9.8 price tag just 1 year ago. Now, these future pillars of the MCU are definitely books you're going to look to invest in.
It's amazing.
Look at this.
Yeah, it's not even her first appearance. This is the first appearance this is the first appearance of another character though. That was, I think they cast him for the show. It's like one of her friends or something, but it's another character in the show. But there's a huge cult following for Miss Marvel. Same with Moon Girl, Devil Dinosaur. I mean, 2020 has proved that what people thought were nothing, make something big of it. Especially now with the heightened sense of collectors, the way the market is. Any first issues will pop if it's a new one or. Well, I think after the Miss Marvel trailer drops, people are gonna end up complaining, but yeah, if you're 50 years old, it's probably not for you. If you're 40 years old, it's probably not for you. But there's a whole generation of young girls that look up to Kamala Khan. They've done so purposely. So, you got your whole gamut of stuff, right? You got your What If, you got your Moon Knight, you got you got your Miss Marvel in between. Someday we're gonna get Squirrel Girl on there as well for the AT&T girl can finally get paid some more money. You know what I'm saying? All right, so Miss Marvel number 1 from 2014. Remember that one? This cover is pretty recognizable. So
but who's the artist on this cover?
Good question.
I feel like I ended up getting this book not because of the run on title, but because of the artist. It was part of an artist collection.
This is just the regular cover too. This isn't even a number 1 or a variant. This is just the regular cover. So so there you go. So a lot of people got on board with this one. Good luck with this one.
Yes, good luck indeed. This is Primer number 5 from 1983. Primer has been in recent comic conversation with Grendel's first appearance in issue number 2. And while that book is currently in the limelight, we might as well cover the other pricey book in the series with issue number 5. This book features the first published work of Sam Keith, who does the interiors of the book. However, it also features the first appearance of Max the Rabbit, which was a prototype for the popular Image launch title, The Max by Sam Keith. There's a lot of debate amongst collectors whether this is the first Max or not. The characters do share many similarities, but also many differences. In the Max the Hare story in this issue, he is literally a giant rabbit, but with the same hunched like Hulk stature with the pointed fists. However, in the Max series, he's a homeless man that merges with Julie's rabbit spirit animal though hidden with a mask, which he never removes. The similarities and differences are there to support both arguments, but either way, this first hit an all new high of $1,530 for a CGC 9.8.
Damn. And it may not even be his first appearance. It's debatable.
It is or it isn't.
Yeah,
could you call it a prototype?
Yeah, it's a prototype.
Prototype is a solid.
Yeah.
But look at that. That's
character.
like a work of art. That cover is. You know what I'm saying? Look at it. I mean, you know, it literally looks like something you would see in the Louvre. For everybody, take a shot if you thought I was going to say the Louvre on tonight's show. But yeah, I'm old enough to remember MTV having an animated series called The Max. Do you remember that?
Yes. I do.
And the animation was very well done. Very well done. It looked like it was Sam Keith. Was it Sam Keith or was that his name? Whatever. It looked like Sam it was Keith, his art that was done on the animated series. Absolutely incredible for those who remember. This is when MTV was doing a lot of animated stuff. I don't know what they do now, to be honest with you, but I
have no idea. Is MTV still around?
Yeah, happy 40th anniversary. Thank you for the 15 years of music you gave us. So, all right. So we're halfway there. Allows us to take a little break and introduce you to our new sponsor, MySlabs.com.
Ooh, tired of paying 10%, 15%, or more to sell your cards, comics, and digital collectibles? How does 1% sound? Too good to be true? Well, not anymore. MySlabs.com is the web's premier user-driven marketplace for buying and selling slabbed cards, sealed wax, and now slabbed comics and digital collectibles. So the next time you're forced to pay 10% or more to sell something from your collection, head over to MySlabs.com and join the 1% revolution.
Yeah, our friends over at MySlabs.com. If you want to sell your stuff, it's 1% fee, but you just have to do the PayPal fees. So if you're getting pillaged by eBay and you want somewhere to sell your books and you don't want to, auction or whatever, you can throw it on there. They also have NFTs for those who are into that whole NFTs the kids are talking about nowadays. But there you go. Shout out to MySlabs.com. Head on over, man. Sell your slabs for 1%. They also have trading cards. I'm really curious to see about those NFTs, though, man. I'm almost scared.
I still don't understand that.
I'm so scared of that, man. Even though I loaded up $50 today in some app that I'm gonna go buy some comics. I
have a rule of thumb. I don't invest in anything I don't know inside and out, backwards and forwards. You know what I mean? That's my money I'm talking about right there. And,
you got to make the first appearance of the mention of the McRib on the Lord Show in NFT.
That's right. Yeah, man. I'm trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. You know what I mean? So let's go. Hey, we can't have a Shakers list without a horror book. And tomorrow, make sure you guys all hashtag Halloween comic covers. Favorite time of the year for the IG Comic Lords. We all post our favorite comic book and horror supernatural themed covers starting October 1st. Make sure hashtag Halloween comic covers. Tag all your friends, and can't have a Shakers list without a horror book. What is it this week?
Absolutely. Next up, we've got Shocking Mystery Cases, issue number 50, originally published in 1952 from Star Publications. Now, it's fitting as we get close to October and the horror imagery that comes with Halloween, where we see a new record sale for this Frankenstein cover from one of the premier Golden Age artists, L.B. Cole. This week, we saw a CGC 7.0 sell for a new overall record of $3,840, beating out the prior record of only $1,680 that was set just last year for a 6.5. Now, this is a difficult book to find with only 24 copies on the CGC census, and it's even harder to find in high grade. The highest graded copy is only a half grade up with a single CGC 7.5. Now, that 7.5 sold all the way back in 2012 for a mere $321. But we wonder what it would go for today with the increased demand for pre-code horror and the fact that it was once part of Ghost Rider's collection. That's right. The CGC 7.5 is noted on the label as being from the Nicolas Cage collection, and that provenance has got to be worth something. Pretty cool, man. That cover is fire.
Yeah.
LB Cole.
I wonder if that's the stolen Nicolas Cage. You know what I'm saying? Because
it feels
Nicolas
like
Cage,
$321 is cheap.
$3,840.
Well, no, back in 2012.
Oh yeah,
the 7.5 sold all the way back in 2012 for that $321.
Famously, Nick Cage got his house broken into and all of his comics stolen, so he had to buy a lot of them back. And so let's not talk about that weird headline we saw about him having to make 5 Netflix movies to buy a comic book or something
Hilarious.
like that. But that was for the Jim Lee art, which was a parody from, I think, an Onion type article. But this is a gorgeous cover.
Like, look at that cover, man. We're talking Frankenstein. You got the colors popping off.
Yeah,
he's electrocuted.
It's all the stuff I talk about. It has font on it. They're saying stuff. It's like Dead Man's Revenge. I mean, this is classic, pre-code horror. I mean, I just miss that covers actually told you what the hell was going on. You know what I mean? Nowadays it's just the prettiest one character. You rarely ever see like throwdown battle scenes. From the big two, at least Marvel and DC. But this is the kind of stuff that whacks nostalgia on us, and I think collectors are gobbling up. So shocking. Mystery Cases issue 50, and once again, anniversary issue. We love those on the Lords, right? From Star Publications. Rest in peace, Star Publications. September 1st, 1952. A graded 7.0, sold for 3,840 bolines. All right. Next up is another chance to get another board. Maybe. Look twice.
Maybe. This is Spider-Gwen Volume 2, number 0. This is the second print from 2016. This hard-to-find second print has been trending for a while now. This reprint of Edge of the Spider-Verse number 2 is considered one of the hardest reprints to find. As copies disappear, the market value increases, like this week's new high of $699 for a CGC 9.8.
I'm telling you, man. You know what? They should have kept the name Spider-Gwen. Ghost Spider just doesn't do it.
Yeah, Spider-Gwen is definitely cooler.
Yeah, and Spider-Gwen is definitely cooler. But
I get the list in advance, and I read that one. I'm like, wait a minute, I have this book, and sure enough, I go digging. I don't have second print. No,
I
got a bunch of first prints.
No, I have Edge of Spider. I had Edge of the Spider-Verse number 1, 2 first prints, and the 1 in 25 Greg Land variant. Sold them all. Sold them all. Should have kept them, especially the Greg Land 1 in 25. But what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
When she does go to live action, she's definitely going to be in Into the Spider-Verse animated number 2. But whenever they do make a live action version, this book is just going to go through the roof. I mean, fan favorite through the Into the Spider-Verse, and I do believe she's on like the Spider-Man cartoons for kids too, right? The one that was had the kind of quipping funny Spider-Man.
Ultimate Spider-Man.
Miles with Spider-Man.
Yeah, she's in that, isn't she?
There's 3 characters.
Yeah. So, and at one point there was like Nova, and it was like a weird version of Iron Fist. It's like this little kid who spoke like a Buddhist monk whenever he spoke. It was like kind of funny. Better than Finn Jones. But
White Tiger, I think, was part of it.
Yeah, White Tiger was in there. So very interesting stuff for little kids, man. So Spider-Gwen Volume 2, issue number 0, second print from 2016, boys and girls. 700 for 9.8 doesn't sound that bad at all. All right, what do we got next?
All right, next up, this is a good one. Classic Superman versus Muhammad Ali. But
once again, I tell you to take a double look at this one to make sure.
Yeah,
this is the Whitman you think you have
variant from 1978 DC Comics. Now, this iconic book is one of DC's best-selling comics. It features Muhammad Ali, one of the most iconic and inspirational figures of the 20th century, fighting one of the most iconic and inspirational superheroes of all time. Muhammad Ali was immensely proud of the book, and it was said that he frequently showed it off to guests at his house. And writer and artist Neil Adams, co-written with Denny O'Neil, has also claimed that this book and its cover is one of the proudest moments of his career. Simply, this was one of those books that was way ahead of its time and ranks as one of the most important books in comic history. While this week's raw sale of $562 marks a new high, it's still undervalued compared to all the various hot books that have surpassed it in price. It's unknown if this Whitman variant was bagged, as it's a large treasury size that was considered an odd size even then. However, Whitman books were mostly sold at convenience and toy stores, which is where these most likely came from. Yeah, this is the big treasury
edition.
Right? Yeah, this is not the treasury.
Star Wars, one of those, right? It's
same
huge.
Here. Yeah,
it's cool. A little, fun fact, I guess you could call it. So, if you remember that show, Comic Book Men, they had Neil Adams on, and he was talking about this cover, and the Lex Luthor character there on the bottom left was actually supposed to be Telly Savalas, and if you notice his hand, it looks like it would have been holding a sucker. He changed it to Lex Luthor because Telly Savalas said, "Do not use my likeness on the cover."
How many different
you could have been
celebrities
immortalized?
How many celebrities are immortalized on this cover?
I think that's Jimmy Carter too in the front,
Yeah,
right?
Jimmy
to
Carter.
the right.
I think that's Bono next to Batman.
Yeah. Bono, not Bono, kids. All right. So for those who don't, so Sonny and Cher, it's like, man, we're dating ourselves. But remember this, like, at first glance, like, oh yeah, because the Treasury Edition is rather, I wouldn't say it's easy to find, but you see them more often. This Whitman variant, though, I mean, forget about it. It was not quite Treasury size, but it's still an odd shaped, as you could tell. A little bit bigger than a Golden Age book, but yeah, that's still pretty cool, man. So Spider-Man versus Muhammad Ali from Whitman, 1970. Can you imagine the trash Muhammad Ali was telling Superman? I got kryptonite in these gloves, son. I don't, whatever, man. All right, and he's probably talking about his dead parents on Krypton or whatever, but
yeah, and they hit him with the red light and everything, so he wasn't even really his strength. Whatever.
Very cool, man. Very cool. All
Spoiler
right,
alert! I think Muhammad Ali wins.
That's right.
Get out of here.
All right, that's good. Instead of the Thriller in Manila, it was I don't even know, man. Well, I can't even think of a word that rhymes with Metropolis, but forget about it. So anyway, let's move on to the next one. This one is a really, really rarity, and if you're a fan of Recalled Comics, you know about this book.
Well, this is the Venom Lethal Protector #1 Error black cover from 1993, and we love Error books. They're oddities, fun accidents, and can often be considered one of a kind, depending on what flaw is on the book. This particular oops happened when the red foil ran out at the end of the production, creating just this black overlay. As you can see, the red from the original standard cover underneath. Like a few books we discussed above, this isn't the highest sale ever. A rare 9.8 sold in 2018 for $9,600, but it is a big new high sale for a 9.4, which sold for $6,250. This beats the last high sale of $4,500 back in 2020 and the old-timey price of $1,500 that this sold for in 2019. Those are some impressive gains,
those are
man.
Crazy gains,
Only gonna get
man.
hotter. I mean, there is for some reason
4.
I don't know what it is with this run, but there's like because they had a couple of different variants that were different covers. I think there was a white variant. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. That it may have been. Just look up recalledcomics.com and look at the error covers for the Venom run, and you'll find that there's quite a few. But this one is, I would say, for Venom collectors, this is the holy grail for Venom collectors, right? Because Venom has quite a obviously ASM 300. Fun fact that, and I posted it on my Twitter about the guy who actually created. Well, they say Venom, but he didn't create Venom. There was a fan who created
the black suit,
the black suit Spidey, right? His name is Randy Schuler. Yeah, so I bring this up now because it's kind of apropos since Venom is coming out. But a guy named Randy Schuler, it was a thing where Marvel did. They said send in your stories, for what you would like to do, if you're an aspiring writer. And somebody, this guy named Randy Schuler, this is like 3 or 4 years before Secret Wars came out. He said, my idea for Spider-Man is to have a black suit. But it would have been made by Reed Richards, and it has unstable molecules. So we don't have to worry about Spider-Man always getting his costume ripped. Right in the comics, every time he gets his costume ripped, right? Because he's, because he was a poor kid, he was making his own clothes. You know what I mean? So
he's sewing them up.
So the story was that, and if you're unfamiliar with unstable molecules, that's what they kind of, Stan Lee made up for the story of how. Like Reed Richards could stretch, and his uniform would stretch with him because Reed Richards had created something called unstable molecules, the same way as how Visible Girl would turn invisible and her clothes would too, as well as the Human Torch's clothes wouldn't go up in flames. They were unstable molecules. So shout out to Randy Schuler, who in the sensational Spider-Man #1 from 2019 called Self-Improvement, they actually retold that story that were given by Randy Schuler. So it tells the story of Reed Richards making a black costume for Spider-Man using unstable molecules. That book is grossly undervalued, but I would say that is the true origin of the black suit Spidey before Secret Wars. Google it. It's a thing. Randy Schuler
cool
and
info.
Black Suit Spider-Man. Just a little knowledge dropping on you guys because we like to do that kind of stuff here. McRibs and knowledge. That's all we know on here, man.
McRib and knowledge. There you go.
Yeah. So Venom, the Lethal Protector #1, the black cover variant, 6250 for 9.4. Good luck on finding this bad boy. All right. What do we got up next? One of my favorite authors. Last one.
Before we get
one
to
of my
the
favorite
last
artists.
one, before we get to the last one on the list, man, shout out to this fantastic live chat. If you are enjoying the show, please do hit that thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the bell. All right, what have we got to round off this list?
The last one on the list, and then after that, boys and girls, stick around. We're going to go see what's shaking today, but one of my favorite cover artists.
Okay, here we go. Young Allies #6, the Art Adams 1 in 15, originally produced in 2010 from Marvel Comics. We're big Arthur Adams fans. He has a style that's really unique and recognizable. He has several valuable variants, but in 2010 and 11, he did 3 female Marvel profile variants that have been rising in value for years. These books are New Mutants #25, the 1 in 25, which sold for a new high of $389 for a CGC 9.6 this week. Avengers, the Children's Crusade #3, the 1 in 15 Scarlet Witch variant, which sold for a new high of $250 and a 9.8. And lastly, the Young Allies #6 Firestar 1 in 15, which
so there's a chance to actually go 0 for 12 or 12 for 12. We gave you 2 bonus books. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, you got bonus books, which has gone crazy price wise with a new all-time high sale this week of $1,000 basically for a CGC 9.6, which hey, the 9.6 is the new 9.8 because you ain't getting a 9.8 out of CGC. So these sisters definitely seem to be climbing in price together, man. What do you guys think of these profile? What do they call them? A female Marvel profile variants.
I like the Scarlet Witch one, but the New Mutants one looks dope too. For Art Adams. But I remember when first time I saw Art Adams art was when it was an X-Men annual, New Mutants annual crossover where the X-Men ended up in Asgard. I don't know if you guys remember that story, but Art Adams did the covers, and I think he did Eternals, and I was like, wow, who did this, right? And then after that, he kind of go along and did his thing. But there you go, boys and girls. Young Allies #6, or you could add New Mutants on there and Avengers Children Crusade on there as well. So you can go, well, if you want to, you can pick one of those.
It's not 2 for 10, it's 2 for 12.
There you go. All right, boys and girls, let's go see what is shaking today on the CovrPrice comic book shakers of the week, or excuse me, it changes daily. So really,
this is a daily list.
Yeah, so this is today's big shakers.
Yeah. So let's go.
I mean, literally, say some of these that you look up will have sales of yesterday.
Yeah, so here we go. If you have full-blown CovrPrice membership, you can see the top 10. You can see all the movers, and that show is this is the number of units.
Oh,
so
that's cool. That Superman.
Son of Kal-El. So
I like that. That's a homage to #1.
Yeah,
issue
that's
#1.
Well, wow, this is Fantastic Four 358, so 46 copies. Interesting. All right, but we're interested to see what's shaking, boys and girls. Let's see what's shaking today. This list changes every day, several times a day. So, look at that. I got 3 in the top 10 or 3 in the top 6. Well, it's not really a top list, but
I just showed that Brave and the Bold
it's by the most valuable.
Grades.
It's sorted by value. So the most expensive book on this list is up and then it just progressively gets less expensive. So yeah, you had 3 of the top 6 there.
Yeah, I don't know about this X-Men book. It's hard to find. I have to grade these two. My 2 are Ultimate Fallout's or Raw Dog, so I got to get those graded.
Wow, what's going on with that Star Wars? That seems expensive. $2,400.
Look at this one. I think our man Justin has his first appearance of Ahsoka Tano outside of Star Wars canon. $3,900 for a 9.4.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, when it's 16,000 for a 9.8, and that's not a hard book. It's not a hard. It's easy. It's not hard to get in a 9.8. Is what I'm trying to say. But this Star Wars: The Clone Wars issue #1 from Dark Horse, man. There's golden in them. Here's what hills. Go out and look for it. I was just watching this again because recently in the news, Steve Ditko was in the news recently about, I think Steve Ditko's family was suing the rights to get the rights to Spider-Man back. But, as they did with Scarlett Johansson, they settled things out of court. We'll never know how much they paid. But this is the quintessential Steve Ditko cover right here.
Right.
Look at that. Graded 9.6, $2,600, man.
Wow, for 9.6, that seems low.
Wow.
Yeah,
I have one of these, but it's
I don't know how you're gonna find
horrible
it.
condition.
This is absolutely, of course, in the Spider-Man film, there is a scene where they paid homage to this. If you remember,
They did, yes.
He kind of lifts this stuff and there's water all around it. That's why I immediately saw that film. I immediately thought of this classic Steve Ditko cover. If you want to find out more about Steve Ditko, I beseech you, or I beg you, to go look up In Search of Steve Ditko. It's a BBC documentary by Jonathan Ross, and it tells the whole history of Steve Ditko, how he is an isolationist, and how they actually interviewed Stan Lee, and there was a rift between them because at one time Stan Lee was like, "No, I created it. It was my idea. You just simply drew it." Then he finally said, "No, Steve Ditko is the co-creator." So before the first Spider-Man movie came out, they actually added Ditko's name to the credits. It may have been the first one or the second one, but the ones with Tobey Maguire, they added Spider-Man, created by Stan Lee and Steve Ditko. So, go check out that Jonathan Ross documentary. It's very, very cool, man, especially if you ain't got nothing to do. Go check it out. It's called In Search of Steve Ditko. And I think it's on YouTube. You can see it. Warlock pushing up on there. Let's look at this. I think people are assuming because James Gunn said he finished the script for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. And a lot of the actors came out and said that, they got really emotional and started crying. So everybody just assumed that people are dying. Another interesting thing is why we haven't seen Warlock in the What If series or whatnot is because famously James Gunn has said, I am going to be doing Adam Warlock. And if you watch the end of Guardians of the Galaxy #2, it's obvious that James Warlock is coming. But this first appearance of Adam Warlock, it's one of those crazy issues where there's tons of different first appearances of him. There's a first appearance of him. Cocoon,
literally.
There's all kinds of weird stuff, man. But this is still a great run. This whole Marvel premiere, I know, Ryan, you and I have talked about how this Marvel premiere is just full of great books.
I'm actually attempting to try to complete. It's a 1 to 59, I think. So it's a easy run to complete.
Yeah,
I'm trying.
No way. There's so many expensive keys in there, isn't there?
Look at this.
If you got them way early,
This is the Sarah Pichelli Ultimate Comics Spider-Man #1. Wow, raw for $13.50.
What?
Ooh. Yeah, I have the regular covers, and I think I have the bagged cover as well. I definitely have these because this is we also I think Heroes Comics did like a homage variant to this one as well. I even said so. I own this book. I own one. I have the
There you go.
I have the entire run of the Ultimate Spider-Man. I had the entire run of all the Ultimate Comics at one point, to be honest with you. But then I sold off the X-Men and the Ultimates. If you remember, that was what the Avengers were called in the Ultimate Universe. So unbagged, $137 for a raw comic. I think
$835 for a 9.8.
Referred myself in the third person. TiVo, time to go get these graded. But
I need
another
to go
rare.
check and see if I got that one.
Another odd ratio too, 1 in 30. Don't see many 1 in 30s nowadays either. But there you go, Sir Pichelli, man. Man, I'm telling you, Miles is it's just gonna go explode. But here you go, Ryan. I'll throw this bone at you, man. Have a bone, dude.
DC. Throw some DC in there for Ryan.
I have this, but not 9.8.
Yeah. The Joker #1, first appearance of the Joker in the solo series. 9.8 for $7.50 sounds reasonable to me.
Well, that's because
reasonable.
DC Comics are very reasonable.
Yeah. Kang on the list seems to be.
Look at that Star Wars Empire Strikes Back book. A friend of ours on Instagram, Skip Valens, has a sign, like a cast sign.
Cast sign. Yeah, by the original cast. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he was just showing up. Go check out our man Skip Valens.
I think he posted it on Instagram.
Yeah, he did. This is Marvel Super Special number 16. First appearance of Boba Fett predates Star Wars for number 42 by 4 months. If you guys are interested in this one, there you go. For all you Star Wars completionists out there, there's a lot of Star Wars books in here. I just realized.
Well, it's interesting.
I know. I was just
that. There's
ask,
a Boba
what's
Fett
up 68?
Yeah.
You know
what? The book of Boba Fett just posted.
Yeah, the book of Boba Fett movie poster came out. Yeah. So
42 and 68 are the two big Boba books. I've been buying them up, but man, that 9.8 price is crazy.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you really want to get it, you got to get that Empire Strikes Back book. You know what I mean? Another classic Spider-Man cover.
Ooh, Mad.
Yeah, let's get a look at Mad Magazine.
Yeah, come on.
I do believe
Forget
this.
Spider-Man.
I love Mad Magazine.
Tales calculated to drive you mad. No, you kids don't even understand how cool Mad Magazine was. But this is
so
like
cool.
these are like, I want to say these are the comics. This isn't even the Mad Magazine because this is EC. So I think these are comic size.
No, these are the Mad Magazine, and then it turned to the regular magazine that we know and love today.
Oh, so
these are the beginning. This is the beginning.
Yeah, but was this magazine size or is this comic book size?
That I'm not sure. Probably.
Yeah.
Comic book
magazine
size.
Yeah, it looks like comic book size. So yeah, I remember all the movie adaptations that Mad Magazine's done. Absolutely hilarious, man. A rarity for black Superman covers that from the Golden Age. A black cover,
like this one.
Right?
They're
we
cool.
always talk about Superman is famously known for having yellow covers, but look at that. And now you know why they don't do many black covers. My God, we couldn't even find a good picture, Matt. Come on, man. This thing.
Find a good picture of that.
That is Superman number 32 from 1945, $811. Wow. Look at the next two next to it. They're yellow covers, and then this one is just all black. So I just wanted to say it's just I don't know if there was something with the colors palette or something. Like if you look at this Blue Beetle book here, this is from 1940, all yellow cover, right? You know,
all yellow.
Maybe it's because it's the primary color. $750 for 4.5. Blue Beetle. Not even his first appearance.
1940.
Yo, this is gnarly.
What's up with that with Defenders 112?
A very busy cover right there.
That's what I was talking about. Nowadays, you don't have comics like this where people just throwing down. This is the Defenders versus the Overmind.
What's the story with this?
This is first appearance of Arcana Jones, Power Princess, and Nuke. I think they were part of Power Princess and Nuke. I do believe are part of the Squadron Supreme, I want to think. I'm trying to think, but remember this team is just goofy. It had like Gargoyle, Valkyrie, Silver Surfer, Beast, Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch, Vision. Actually, that's a fucking powerful team. If you think about it. Jeez, man. Who's going to stand up to Doctor Strange, Silver Surfer, Vision, and Scarlet Witch? This is before, Scarlet Witch got all powerful, but, Gargoyle was an interesting character, too. I love the Defenders run. This is the 75% price variant, too, by the way.
Oh, okay. That's Canadian price variant.
Yep, $750, man. Ironically, back, the U.S. dollar's always done better than Canadian dollar, but Canadian price variants always seem to be more. There you go. Here's some more Star Wars for you. This is gorgeous. Star Wars number 81.
Yeah, the only thing about this book, because I just sent this off to be graded, there's a Return of Boba Fett. I didn't think there was a key except for the cover. The cover's got like almost all the characters on it.
Anything Boba Fett, man, because they just dropped the movie poster, and it's I think it's coming out in December, right? At the end of the year, we're gonna get the Book of Boba Fett. So expect more Star Wars stuff to just start flying off the shelves, is my guess. Good old Fantastic Four, number 49. There's some Galactus love. Can we talk about What If spoilers now? Since it happened yesterday.
What If was awesome.
See the Galactus moment where Vision gobbles up a galaxy? Yo, forget about it. That was crazy, man. That last episode of What If has ultimate rewatchability, I think. It was just fantastic. Awesome. You catch a little bit of something. Every time Vision, Ultron, Gauntlet punched the Watcher, they went into another dimension. And at one point, you saw Mustafar on there. So Google it, boys.
Yeah, I got to rewatch it again.
So it's the first time you actually got to see Star Wars scenes inside of a Marvel show. So supposedly it's Vader's castle on Mustafar, and as well as that vegetation planet where one chick with the crazy head thing gets executed during Order 66. If you remember that from the prequels, when they said execute Order 66. Here we go. Star Spangled War Stories. Some more great Golden Age stuff. It's always horror or war stories, but
war or horror.
I was a Hollywood. What did it say? I was a Hollywood soldier.
This is for real. No lights, no camera, plenty of action. He jumps like a grenade. Way to go.
Was that the first appearance of?
It's the last appearance of the guy on the cover.
No, I know you're talking about Peacemaker. No,
I'm thinking of Ben Stiller's character in. That one movie.
Yeah. Classic Wolverine cover. Here's that Young Avengers. I always tell you guys, Stray Dogs. Here's that really weird Spider-Man 2009.
This came with this is a toy thing, right?
Yep, it was a Toy Biz second print white variant, man. Good luck finding that. 9.8, 1600. So this is a 9.4 that recently sold for 400. But yeah, this is an odd book, which is interesting because most the toy variants didn't have the price on it, but this one does. So there you go. So if you have a toy, if you have a comic book inside those toys, crack it open. Here we go.
Crack them up.
Let's talk about Zoot Comics. Super
Rula.
Betty Page, pretty girl, good girl cover, man. Look at that. That's
was
awesome.
going in for the kiss. Look at him.
I don't think he's gonna get it the way that blade is shaped up. Looks like
Yeah.
Zabu up. She looks like Zabu up there. $3.99 for a 7.0. See, I would get this, man. This is history right there. This is Rula, the jungle goddess in the Dream Dancers. A jungle bona fide with the Falcon. Wow, I didn't even know these characters existed, man. Here's another cool book for you.
Was there a
from
Marvel
Golden
Age one in there? What's up with that Marvel Age?
Miss Fury number 5.
She
Look
looks
at
like
that.
Catwoman, Batwoman,
Yeah, probably a
and
precursor
something
to that.
else.
Yeah, from Marvel. There you go. I didn't even know that was a Marvel book. But what were you asking about?
Marvel Age with the
Previews, Marvel previews right here. So it was Marvel previews number 64. Black cover has a first preview of Shuri as a Black Panther. J. Scott Campbell out for a Black Panther number 1 from 2009. Another one of those weird preview books that people always good on. What was that? I was just talking about. Oh, we won't talk about that yet because there's a Dakota North and a Marvel preview book that I won't talk about yet. I guess I just did. The cat's out of the bag.
There you
but
go.
anyway,
What are you doing?
good old What If. We were just talking about What If.
Here it
Perfect
is.
segue.
I think this book is so undervalued, man. Come on.
It is 9.6 for 300. 9.8 for 1200. I have a 9.8. Grossly undervalued in my opinion. If you think about it. But yeah, that is super cool, man. Where was I?
It's a tough 9.8 though. It's one of those square bound.
Square bound, and it's like a double size issue as well. But it's great stories. This entire first volume, entirely great stories. Oh, look at that.
You got one.
Darth Vader, number 1, his first appearance of Dr. Afra. Which one is this? Yeah,
Why
this
are
is
we
the
looking at books we see all the time? Let's look at some of these cool ones, man.
Yeah.
I just did. How often do you see Miss Fury and Zoot? Come on,
War
man.
Stories. He's like, you passed War Stories twice already. One's got a
Right.
dragon on the cover, for Christ's sake.
We're gonna look at
Oh,
Afra.
there you
I
go.
mean, come on.
Well, I wanted to see which one it was, but this is Star Spangled War Stories. Yeah, that's a fucking weird looking dinosaur.
Not even the giant savage beast Hulk.
He's coming out of the tree.
$3.99 for 9.4, but it came 1967. Not impressive. Get 1947, and I'll be impressed. Here's some more Star Spangled War Stories. So somebody went on a Star Spangled War Stories spending
Marvel
spree.
Age 104. What the hell's up with that with the Jim Lee?
So this is $3.49.
You're on it. Right there.
I don't know what it is.
Why is that hot? By the way, I was just rereading Jim Lee's X-Men 1 through 5. Man, does that take me back, man?
So it features unpublished Jim Lee art, maybe. And of course, there's those giant Jim Lee original art sale of X-Men.
And it says X-Men preview issue. So was that X-Men 1 preview?
Gotta be.
Well,
At the
unpublished art, so it means...
Yeah, but at the top it says extra special X-Men preview issue.
Look at that. It also features the first Marvel mutant story ever by Stan Lee and Steve Ditko from Amazing Adult Fantasy number 14.
Ooh.
If you didn't know that. See that at the very bottom? The first Marvel mutant story ever in Amazing Adult Fantasy 14. Of course, starting with Amazing Fantasy 15, they took the adult part out of it, so it was just Amazing Fantasy. But prior to that, the first 14 issues was Amazing Adult Fantasy.
Oh yeah, Jim Lee is on the cover there.
Yeah. Oh, the actual book itself?
No,
Yeah,
him,
that's his first comic appearance, probably.
There he is at the artist desk.
First cover
There
appearance.
he is, yeah. So maybe it is his first appearance on the cover. You never know. People are just like, yeah, we just gave him X $1 million for original art. We'll pay some more for why the X-Men. I've been watching it, and I'm
Is it good?
entertained.
I'm 2 episodes behind.
I dig
so
it.
don't-
Yeah, it's not bad at all, actually. Very well done. I've only watched I think they released the first 3 episodes. I saw
Yeah,
the first
3.
2. Yeah, it's definitely got a cult following. I have one issue. Unfortunately, mine's an 8.5.
Oh shit! I gotta send out Uncanny Swag if you're there. I totally forgot to send your book, so I'll do that tomorrow.
He's lying. He ain't
man.
never-
I swear to God, I'll do it
Ain't doing
tomorrow,
shit tomorrow.
All right,
or
let me
maybe
look at this.
Saturday.
What's up with that one?
Punisher War Journal. This is early. Look at that early Punisher.
Dude, that cover's
Wolverine. Dope. Yeah. This is,
the cover's so bad.
I want to say this is the Jim Lee Punisher War Journal when he started this. He started this run. This is the height of Jim Lee's powers.
Classic.
9.8 for $350, man. I'm sure you guys have a lot of these in your long boxes, man. Look at this. Here we go. Static, issue number 1. Soon to be a animated series as well as live action, all kinds of other stuff. So
it's a first issue collector's item.
The first appearance of Static, a.k.a. Virgil Hawkins. So how you like them apples? But there you go, boys and girls. Hope we didn't lose a bunch of guys. So you guys still 152 of you strong. I just wanted to go through there to take up our full allotted hour of time. Any last words, JB?
Yeah, man, I'm 2 weeks away. 2 weeks away from coming back, man. We got a 2-week break. The kids go out on break, and then when they go back to school, my wife goes back to work, and I come back to the YouTubes full time to be pumping out some content. Everybody wants to know what happened to that 20G I spent. Stick around and find out.
Hey, it's been marinating, man.
It's been marinating.
Yeah.
Darkside Jedi, any last words?
Hey, thanks for joining us, everybody. We really appreciate it. Thursdays, like I always say, this is my favorite list on YouTube. I may be biased, but we get some pretty cool books that we get to see every week on Thursdays. It's not your average stuff. So thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time.
He's not your average drug dealer. Cocaine. Anyway, hey, thank you guys for joining us. Mark your calendars, boys and girls. The 5th annual Lords of Long Box Black Friday auction this Thanksgiving on Friday. You know we rock it every year on Black Friday. Lord's auction, but you've been doing it 5 years in a row. So, nice. Save some of your Black Friday money.
It'll be a big one.
It's going to be a big one. It's we haven't had an auction in like 3 or 4 months, so we're going to rock it out. So for Darkside Jedi, JB from Discovery Bay Comics, this is your man Tebow saying keep digging in them long boxes and peace out.
Now let's do this!
Rewind, select and come again. Pull up that from the top to the very last. Jump.
Who are you to make their lives bitter in hard bondage? In this you shall know that the Lord is One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, do it! We're here! We're back!
Get to my job! You can't get fresher than this.
In the great hall of the Justice League, there are assembled the world's 5 greatest heroes. Their mission, to fight injustice, to right that which is wrong, and to serve all mankind.
When it comes, I won't even notice. Oh, how so?